Hello and welcome. I think with this issue, I'm all caught up on Legends of Log. Stand back, fearless reader. The Forest has a new protector who's been around for several issues now, because Log went from being like two one-shot specials to being like a series. I really enjoy flipping through Log. This issue actually surprised me a good bit. Let me just start off here. So we got a bad guy that was sending a giant scarab beetle thing to find and attack Log and all that, right? Yeah, I mean, that's typically how these stories go. Is there's a bad guy. The bad guy is trying to get Log, one way or another, and then usually Log fights the bad guy. This particular short story has art by Frankie B. Washington in it, and it escalates into bigger and bigger monsters, which, given what Frankie loves drawing, I'm okay with that. He draws kaiju for funds, and he does a pretty good job of it. And he does it effortlessly in this story. Maybe I didn't pick exactly the best page here, but I just really like the giant electric eel with the giant two-headed titan thing holding the giant pterodactyl, which also had just captured the giant scarab beetle. You have like layer after layer after layer. You know, it's the there's always a bigger fish joke from Star Wars Phantom Menace in comic book form. So bad guy goes to send out other bad guys to fight Log, but the bad guy runs into other bad guys and they fight instead, and so Log is just kind of like, it is no concern to us. As long as the Northwood is safe, that is all that matters. Fun story to open up to. I think maybe the only thing that might be kind of cool in all these Log stories is if Kujengas. I don't think I ever saw that book. Did that ever actually happen? Coming soon to Indiegogo. Did that happen? I got no idea. But like the one thing that maybe would be pretty cool is to compress the who's who down and have like a table of contents of the stories with the credits for who worked on the stories, and just put that like right up front in the front of these books. If they ever get reprinted, maybe there's something to think about there for your book. Don't worry, we see the sorceress, we see the wizard, we see all these characters in the book. That's why they're in the who's who, right? There's a couple of stories here. We're gonna kind of skip a little bit to where do I want to stop? Yeah, you know what? This one. So the sorceress went to visit the warlock guy, and they were talking and conspiring and stuff, and then she left to go back to her place to, drink a little blood because she transformed into like an obvious vampire character. Meanwhile, the warlock guy is talking to the telepathic brain. I don't even remember like where that comes from. But the thing that I liked about this story, the thing that got me and kind of surprised me with this issue, is it just showed off that these stories have permanence. These stories are actually building up to something. We actually had plot advancement. This story remembers when the warlock guy sent his fire imps out. I guess that was in the last issue to fight Log. It remembers that she's fought Log before. So we're not just getting like a bunch of stories that are just like status quo, like something happens back to the status quo, something happens back to the status quo, like a Saturday morning cartoon in the 80s. We're actually like incrementally bumping the plot forward in these short stories. So she met the warlock guy, then flew home on her cool little dragon beast thing here. She's about to like nip into this lady, which gets Log's attention, and Log shows up at the castle. They start having a little bit of a tussle. There's a twist or two. Like, this is actually like, for Log stories, this is a little longer form. That's pretty good stuff. A lot of these Log stories are just kind of like, I don't know, 3 or 4 pagers. But this one, we got a little more mojo than that. This story went on for maybe 8 pages or something. Devil Flyer. Man, apparently I missed all the fun on Indiegogo. I admit, I ain't been looking at Indiegogo campaigns very much, man. I don't have the kind of dosh to throw around for campaigns anymore like I used to frivolously do. So there's another little 2-page story. Then we got the Log adventure strip, which is sideways, and it reads like a Sunday cartoon. It's pretty good stuff. A little heavy on the text. And then there's one more story. I told you we'd see everybody, right, including the wizard and that other character, Rymax, whatever his name was. Which I swear that dude was in another log story, but I don't remember when or where I read it. Who knows? But look at this. It looks great, doesn't it? Look at the wizard there, man. Him and his little magic coming off of his staff. This is like A plus, absolutely mega fantastic. And they do battle with the Rymax guy, and it's all very fun, very satisfying. A plus. I would show you like all this book, every page of this book, but I can't do that because if I do that, I'll have just shown you every page of this book, and I'd rather go to alternativecomics.com and see if you can buy this book still. Maybe you can get it digitally. I don't know, but I had a ton of fun. All these log books, they may not be like the best comic books I've ever read. Like this isn't like we're sitting down and we're about to dip into something with crazy, crazy meat on its bones. You know, Kingdom Come or something like that. But these are very enjoyable books. They're just like little snippets of some fun action cartoon that you wish had been on back when you were a kid. That's where we're at. Yeah. Let me restate that with fewer awkward pauses there. Reading Legends of Log is like watching a bunch of little cartoon shorts that would have been on Saturday morning back in the late 80s when Saturday morning cartoons ruled and they were the best thing on television. Yeah, you heard me. I said it. That may not strictly be true. I mean, there were shows like Miami Vice and Hunter that were really great on television at that point, but you kind of get what I'm going for, right? Excellent, fun entertainment, and there's nothing in here you really couldn't like present to, a 10-year-old if you wanted. Like, there's no bad stuff. It's all just like wholesome adventuring fun where good is triumphing over evil. All right, I'm going to shut up and quit waxing about how much I like Mr. Suharski's Legends of Log. It's great stuff. You all take care of yourselves. You have a great day. Bye bye.